Hey guys, welcome back again to Rebuild Reality. So today we're going to talk about suffering and how to get rid of it because, I have so many people and they're so embedded in it. So just they're deep. They're like going down. You can see like the top of their head kind of thing. It's like they're in quicksand. And so it's really kind of a matter of understanding what's going on here. And I know that, we understand all kinds of different, topics and ideologies and things like that, but this is different. So we have our mind, right? That's the voice in your head that's 24/7 that, can give you tremendous advice. It can be really super smart, but all the things that it says don't lead you to your happiness because it's full of fear. It's full of worry. And it's got you at the end of the whip, man. It's just like, go, right? So we think that we have to listen to it. And it always says that at the end of the dark road is going to be the light. But it's not there. Because we're in duality, right? So you got the light and you got the dark. And, in our perception, we've got good and bad and there's right and left and up and down and here and there and man and woman and all this stuff. It's all duality, right? But the mind tells us the harder you try, the farther down that dark road, the dark night of the soul, right? That you go down, then you'll finally get there. You'll finally heal yourself. You'll finally complete the task and you will be free. Well, that's a bullshit story that the mind tells you. It's the same story that so many different ideologies, religions and stuff like that. It's all about suffering and getting your happiness at some point in the future, like usually when you're dead. Right? So this doesn't work. Because when you're in duality and you're going down that negative mind path of, the more you worry, the more you look at the problem, you think you're going to fix it. You can't. It doesn't work that way. Because the farther down that dark road you get, just the darker it goes. You don't solve it. That's why it's the mirror, right? So we understand about the mirror that's reflecting who we are. And we keep going down that dark mirror road, the shadow road, which isn't the road you want to go down. You don't want to go out down the outer world, the 3D world road, because it's the wrong way. But the mind will be absolutely adamant. It will convince you 1,000 billion%, and most people will die to the death that they are right and they have to do this thing to finally see it through. And I talk to so many people and it's always but, well, you're an illusion. This is not real. You're in a virtual reality here, and I'll give them all the proof and everything. They'll go, well, yeah, but it's hard. Yeah, but this. Yeah, but that. It's like, well, you can, like they say, you can argue for your limitations if you want to. If you want to believe that, then you can. But you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to get to where you want to go. And we listen to that 3D mind because it's got us so convinced that if we don't, that's it, right? Even though it is never led to our happiness. It's certainly never led to lasting happiness for people. Perhaps one or two on the planet, you know what I mean? But it just doesn't work. And if you look at it and you're like, okay, how long have I been listening to this voice? How long have I been listening to that? Well, it seems logical and it makes sense and it seems like it's the best thing to do. Totally seems like it's got my back and all that stuff. So you want to because you're scared not to. But it never produces anything positive. When in reality, it's the other way. But the mind is like, you can't just like sit there and bliss out. You can't just sit there and be happy. We got all this stuff to do. You gotta go. Otherwise, you've had it, you know? And at the end of that mind idea is like, well, then you're not going to make enough money, or then people won't like you, or then that person's going to leave you, or then, this and this and that will happen. And then you'll be homeless, and then you'll die. It's like, if you kind of trace it down, well, then what? So if I lose that, then what? Oh, well, then this. Well, if that happens, then what? Oh, well, then that, and basically it always ends up with you dying, if you follow that mind, set, like, oh, why do I have to do these things? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? What's going to happen? And the mind is, at the end of it, it's always like, you've had it if you don't listen to me. If you don't do what I say, that's the end of you. When in truth, if you don't do what it says, it's the beginning of you. Because if we do look the other way, then we're in the world where we belong in. And the egoic mind doesn't want you to know that, because then you're going to find out it's not real. Then you're going to find out it's supposed to just work for you, like be your maid, not your master. It's supposed to serve you, not you serve it. So what happens when you start looking in the other direction, in the direction of the positive? Now you're in the world of your creator. Now you're in your natural state of being, just like a child. And everything fits. Suddenly all the synchronicities show up. Suddenly it's just like you're walking on water, and, everything you wanted is there, because, the rest of you here understands everything you want in detail. It knows all the things you want, all the things you've ever wanted, all the things you've been asking for, everything that would make you happy, and 100 times more. It knows what to do. It knows the way. But because we don't follow the path of our happiness, of looking on the positive side, of, being in that our natural state, which is, like I've said, happy, love, at peace, feeling like you're just completely fulfilled, love. That's your natural state of being. That's when you work. And that's when you and the universe fit together, totally hand in hand. And that's when it takes care of you. And that's what the whole thing about having faith and belief and all of this stuff is about. Because, like I've been saying, you're not the one that's in charge of taking care of all this world stuff. And that's when we start getting into difficulty, when we start trying to drive here. It's kind of a point and shoot kind of thing. We're just supposed to point our focus where we want it, our thoughts, think about the things we want, assume you got it. You got it. It's just, like I was telling somebody, actually today, I'm like, it's like you go into a shoe store and they start bringing you all these different shoes in all these different sizes. And you're like, look, I'm a size 7 and I don't want that. I don't want a high heel. I want a flat heel. But they're bringing you all this other stuff anyway and going on and on about why it's going to be perfect for you, why it's going to fit you. When at the end of the day, you're just sitting there like, look, I wear a size 7. I don't wear a size 2. I don't wear a size 10. You're bringing me all these other things, but I'm just going to let you go on, like, whatever, because you're telling me that, all these reasons why I should be wearing a different size, or why I do wear another size, when I know for a fact that that's not true. I know exactly what I am, and I am a size 7. And I will not be buying and accepting anything else that you bring me but the shoe I asked for in a size 7. Because I know I'm a size 7. So that's like the 3D giving you all this stuff, and you're just waiting for your thing. And you're like, well, I know what it is. I already know exactly what it is. I already know exactly what I want. I already know exactly what I've ordered. I already know that I placed that order, and I already know that it's guaranteed. So you can go through all your back files and whatever, but it's not going to matter in the end. So you wait till everything settles down, and all the confusion settles down and all the uproar settles down, and you're just, yeah, I know, because I know what I know, and I know who I am, and I know what size my shoe is, what size my foot is, and I'm not going to worry about it because I know I've already ordered it, and I know that it's guaranteed that I get it. So it can turn the whole house upside down, the whole shop upside down, but I know at the end of the day that I'm going to be walking out of here with a size 7 shoe. So it's so when we decide, when we choose, it's just that. You can kind of visualize it if you want, for, a couple of times. And that's all you really need to do. You just need to know, like, no, I'm having that. That's mine. That's it. That's mine. And then all the bull that the mind talks is like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't, or, you're not worthy, or you're never going to get that, or that's impossible, or you can't do that. You have to work for that, or they don't like you, or there was somebody else, or whatever it is, and you're just like, I could care less. I could really freaking care less what you say. I get what I want no matter what, because that's the way this whole thing is set up. And I'm on the knowing side. I'm on the positive side. I'm on the bliss, the love team. You know what I mean? I'm not going to mess with that stuff, with that world that is the yakety yakety yak, the negativity. I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going to try and fix all those things, because that's just a never ending road. It's like, no, not my world. Not my world anymore. Nope, doesn't belong to me. Give it back to you, because it doesn't work, does it? Being in the world, trying to do things by the dictates of the world and the dictates of your mind are just don't work. And they lead to our misery. They lead to unhappiness. And I think that that's pretty evident for everybody to see. So this is the thing that we have to get over, is to finally, and I know it's a leap for so many people, that they're so afraid to do it. They're so afraid to stop listening to all the fear talk that their mind is throwing at them, because it's desperate. It will do anything for you not to know that it's not you, that it's lying, that it's not true. It knows it will dissolve into nothing when you find out the truth. That slave driver in your head that's been beating the heck out of you ever since you got here, right? It's like, why do we listen to it anyway? We think it knows. Does it know? How is that working out? Well, not too well. It doesn't really know how this world works. It tells a horrible tale. It will keep you in that dark place, thinking that somehow that the light is at the end of it. But it just gets darker, that road. The only good that direction would be to prove to you that it is the light. That the light is where you live. The light is where you belong. The light is your true nature. The light is you. That's what you are. Because you are that. You are the light of the world. You are the savior of your own world. Absolutely. So being in your true nature, taking that risk of finally being, you know what? I'm just going to let it all go. I'm going to let it all go. And the mind's like, that is the worst thing you could possibly ever do, is let go. And so many people won't do it, until they literally have no choice. You hear like in a lot of near-death experiences and stuff where people are like, I held on, as long as I could until I literally didn't have a choice. I had to give up. I had to let go of struggling for my life because I couldn't do it anymore. And that's when everything changes. That's when the rest of you, because you finally let go of the reins, finally steps in and starts to drive you where you need to go. And that's how it works. So, like I said, I know it's a scary step, but changing from that world of negativity to the world of positivity, retraining yourself, because we get totally trained in the negative, right? And we got that program coming up. It's going on and on, right? We got the programming that's like, oh, no, and it's just like, so yeah, maybe it's going to take a couple of weeks of, nope, not my world anymore. Nope, not my world anymore. I don't live there anymore. I live in the world of my Creator, the world where I belong, where all your needs are met, where you are taken care of like a God, like the beloved child that you are. And when you do that and you prove it to yourself, the world's never, ever going to be the same again. So give it a try. The other route doesn't work, right? So it's just logic. Use logic. If one thing doesn't work and you're like, okay, how long have I given this? Looking at the negative, pushing, struggling, striving, beating the hell out of myself, you're destroying myself. I've done it the way the mind has told me to. For how long? How many years? How many decades? Is it producing any results? Is it getting you where you want to go? If not, it's only logical to choose another path. No matter what that one says. It's like, I'm sorry, like I've always said, you're fired. I'm going home where I belong. Heaven on earth. That's what that means. So, thanks you guys for being here with me. It's always lovely to have you around. And I'm going to see you here next time on Rebuild Reality. And when I do, I want to hear some good stories from you guys that you've tried this and you let me know what happens. And I'll see you then.